Alright guys, so what do I have for you guys today? Firstly, an apology, I didn't get anything out last week. Kind of had a family emergency and wasn't really able to make a video. So this week's video is going to be tappet cover on a 12 valve. Specifically the cheapest tappet cover you can buy on Amazon. Or no, not Amazon, eBay. Although I'm sure you can buy it on Amazon probably just as cheaper, who knows. Either way, it's the cheapest tappet cover I could absolutely find. What is the tappet cover? The tappet cover goes over here behind the fuel filter and set it away. The reason I'm going to do it now is because I've got the injection pump off. And also because realistically I could have probably just gone down to Napa, bought the $20 gasket and put a $20 gasket in. There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. The reason why I'm changing the tappet cover to a billet aluminum one is because the 4 brain cells that rattle around in my head, kind of like the Village People dancing, really like shiny stuff. So I got a really shiny one, which is sitting up over here, and it's an O-ring style billet aluminum. Yeah, nothing really fancy, but we'll probably set it up, maybe get some better lighting so you guys can actually see what I'm doing in here. There really isn't a whole lot to it. It's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Probably the hardest thing is I'm just going to have to pull that fuel filter off and probably that fuel line off the pump. Not super duper complicated, but we're doing it just because without the pump off, you almost can't do this. And once these do leak, they leak a lot of oil. So we're going to save ourselves the trouble and the hassle if it does leak down the road by just doing what some people might call preventative maintenance. It's a big scary word that I don't know a lot about, but we're going to try it. So, all right, so first things first, let's kind of get this fuel filter out of the way. Hopefully it should be pretty empty. Yeah, there isn't really anything in it. That'll give us some more room to work in here. Yup. And go find a place to hide this guy because it's a good fuel filter and I really don't want to buy another one if I don't have. Well, now that the last 30 seconds or so of filming have just been ruined by my air compressor, which is handy, of course. Let's go find ye old 10mm. I think that should be 10mm. Right. That guy out of there. That's going to be a 10. Let's go on the ye old hunt for a 10mm.
2 hours later.
We will. Get in here. And get some stuff out of here. Yep. I should have brought my magnetic socket home. I have a really nice one of these sockets that happens to be a magnetic one that I use at work quite a bit. Kind of nice and handy. You don't have to fight your way through bolts falling off or anything like that. There we go. There. Okay, so a slight problem here. Not really a problem. Everything's easy enough to get at. But what we're going to do is I am going to pull this line off and the pump off. That way we got, because the cover's free, free-ish, That'll just make it easier, I think, to work with. Because I'm going to have to kind of flop it forward and pull it out. And I hope you can see why this would be such a massive pain in the ass with that injection pump on there. you would have to be able to slide it all the way out, slide it in. It just wouldn't work. That's why it's a good time now that the injection pump's off the shop getting worked at. I'm going to do it now and save myself the headache and the hassle and all that other jazz. So we're going to do that now. Okay, now we're off. Good news is none of the gasket really stuck, so there isn't a whole lot of clean work that needs to be done. I mean, this is pretty much as you can see. There really ain't a whole lot going on there. The tappet cover. It's what covers up your kind of push rod tappet valley there. Yeah, not a whole lot. So let's go over to the bench and take a look at this other one and see how we're going to set it up a little bit. Okay, we'll have to kind of ignore the super mess I've got going on here, but so the thing comes obviously with all new hardware. You're going to get this nice big beefy aluminum plate. One thing I did kind of fuck up, we'll probably put a little bit of silicone around this just to make sure that it doesn't leak at all. But I did drop it on the corner because I'm just stupid. Gasket material wise, it's an O-ring. Nothing really fancy. You've got 6 little ones that'll go here in the center that'll seal against the block. Of course, in the world's cheapest plastic bags, like always. So, yeah, 6 of these little guys. Otherwise, the rubber quality feels pretty decent. I mean, for what you pay for, obviously. I only paid a whopping like 70 bucks. Let's see here. You do get 2 O-ring or, well, let's see, JIC style boss fittings here. Yeah, that's going to be for your crankcase ventilation. You're going to get a, it's not really the best. You know, I know somebody will probably bitch about it and say, well, there's not a whole lot of the baffling here, and you're right, there probably isn't. There probably should be more. Again, we're working with the cheapest one I could buy. There are other ones out here. There are nicer ones that are like $1,000, you know, or so on and so forth. This one was not $1,000. It was $70 online with free shipping. So, kind of nice chrome Allen hardware there. Probably grade super cheap, but you know. So, we're going to prep this up a little bit. Get a little bit of RTV along some of this stuff, just because I really don't trust these corners to not leak, you know. Especially my nice little oopsie doopsie over here. So, we'll get some of that. We'll just plaster a nice thin little layer on here on the corners. This way we can say we've got good old positive adhesion, you know, because the last thing we want is any leaks or anything. Even though this O-ring doesn't look like it's in that bad a shape. I personally think these O-ring ones perform and produce a better sealing bond, but I would like to be better safe than sorry, especially on a job that really is a pain in the ass unless you've got the injection pump off. So, yeah, we're just going to go around and get our finger paint skills on, you know, go back to elementary school and paint this bad boy up with some RTV. And I know too, if you want to go a different route and not do the old Smurf poop finger here, Phil Pro makes a really solid gasket kit for redoing your original tappet cover. So that's something to keep in mind if you really don't want to go to this. But let me cut the camera back over and we'll go put this back on. Okay, so, oh, fuck balls. Yeah, I'm going to grab a rag and try and clean up just around those surfaces a little bit. Okay, just a little bit of cleaning, not a whole lot. I'm not honestly that worried that it's going to leak. Okay, now those two I didn't tighten down yet because we're going to grab a little bit of Loctite to do the other ones. Mainly because, well, it's on a diesel. It's going to rattle, it's going to vibrate, it's going to, you know, shake and bake with all the horsepower in the universe. So we're going to put a little bit of red Loctite on there. And I know some people go, oh, use blue. Well, I don't have blue on hand. I happen to have a little bit of red. So we're just going to use what I got. And we will suffer the consequences of my actions later, like usual. Get the old cherry flavored sticky goop. Now, a good rule of thumb, because there was obviously, ooh, it's bigger. I wish. Anyways, a good rule to thumb for tightening anything, especially stuff like this, because a lot of this Chinese crap does not come with instructions. They just expect you to wing it, which nobody informed them that I am very bad at winging stuff. I really should be supervised and have some sort of instructions. But, you know, hey, whatever. A great rule of thumb, a lot of this stuff, is, and this goes for head gaskets, exhaust manifolds, intake manifolds, whatever, tighten it from the inside out. Think of it like you're spreading pizza dough. Okay. Seems to be sealing around the block pretty good. Looks good. Good enough for me. Good enough for the girls we go with. So, now is going to be a matter of fact. You've already watched me take all this shit off anyhow, so I'm not going to make you watch it again. So. Of putting a absolute polish on a very fine dog turd. Anywho, that is our Billet Tappet cover install. Not a whole lot to it. Not really fancy. Again, cheapest tappet cover eBay can buy. $79.95. I'll see if I can put a link in the description for anybody very interested in actually buying one for themselves. I don't have anything bad to say yet. I've yet to run it, but, you know, I think half of it is actually in the install process. I would always put a little bit of RTV just to be safe, you know. Okay, so that was our Billet Tappet cover install. Again, cheapest one money can buy, and I guess time will tell to see if it actually is worth spending the extra money on a nicer one. That being said, if you guys want, like, comment, subscribe. That always helps me out. Comment if you guys have anything more you'd like to see of, anything different. My other projects, I'm going to try and rotate between them all, mainly because that just keeps me busy on all of them. Obviously, I can't do much more on this because parts aren't here. They should be here coming pretty quick, though. I did get talk back from my pump builder. He said stuff should be done, and he'll be working on it and coming next week. Is what it sounds like. So hopefully by the end of June, this will be back and at least running. I can't promise driving, but I can at least maybe promise running. Don't hold me to it, though. So, yeah, comment if you guys have anything more you'd want to see or anything else you guys want to see. But thanks for watching.